Hey Leo, Mariah here. It's always a pleasure to be reading for you. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're really, really well. So I want to go ahead and get into your reading and see what is coming through for you. As always, we keep it open-ended. So let's go ahead and take a look. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors for Leo. What is it that they're needing to know at this time? What is it that Leo is needing to know at this time? Let's get a couple more here for you. We already have two that came out. Let's get one more. What is it that Leo is needing to know at this time, Spirit guys? So we have the Two of Cups. We have the Judgment in the reverse. Three of Wands in the reverse. The Ace of Cups. Oddly enough, I hear like the cavalry is coming. Like help is on the way. Help is on the way, even though help has been delayed. Help is on the way. But in relation to what? I could absolutely look at this as a love reading. I think this is much bigger than that though, Leo. Way bigger than that. I think this comes down to not only you, but the people you've really connected with in your life. It almost makes me want to go back to, and I hate, okay, let me not do that. It's difficult at times to go into like some of the heavier messages because we always don't want to hear a heavy message. Sometimes we just want to hear some of the lighter things and some of the more easy flowing words that need to come out. But I have to ask you about your inner child. Sincerely, your inner child. Because it just reminds me of that inner child that always is within us, even as we grow old and as we age, that baby version of us, that adolescence is still there. And it reminds me of a Leo that in maybe adolescence, maybe in childhood, didn't really have that connection or that connectivity, whether it was through friends, whether it was through family, whether it was through people around you, people that were in your nearby environments, people that was in your close proximity. Who protected you when you needed protecting? Who vouched for you when you needed to be vouched for? Who stood up for you when you needed somebody to be in your honor or be in your favor? And I'm not saying you're helpless or you're a hopeless person, but it just reminds me of a Leo that always had to stand up for themselves, that always had to vouch for themselves, that always had to be the one to bring the honor to their name, that you had to walk through, especially in your younger years, almost feeling unprotected. And don't get me wrong, I don't know the situation with your parents and your upbringing. I'm not trying to go that deep, right? Not on a general reading. But just through life, when you look at certain trials and tribulations and experiences that you've gone through, it's like you had to fight and defend yourself. And not saying that you are a Leo that needed somebody to always handle your battles or handle your mess, because you were able to handle yourself, but you only learned how to handle yourself through experiences of not having somebody there with you, not having somebody to vouch for you, not somebody having there to come up to bat for you on your behalf. So you had to fight for yourself. You had to go through those situations by yourself. And at a point in time, it brings me back to your soul. It's like you're physically present, but the soul is weary. The soul is tired. It's like your soul is needing a moment to rest and needing a break, but you can't, because if you were to take a moment to rest that soul, then who's going to protect you when the next circumstance comes up, or when the next situation starts to move wayward, or you're dealing with new life circumstances that are now pulling you under the current. It's like as much as our soul needs to recharge, it's like we're on edge. We can't, because we always have to stand up and fight for ourselves. But the soul is weary. And I think about, if I'm looking at a Leo with a weary soul, how do we typically recharge, right? Who do we typically go to just to lay or bear our burdens, so that way we can let that out of our system, so that way we can actually recharge and let good energy back into our life. And when maybe I'm just off on a tangent here, so please forgive me. But it's like, if I was to look at the course of everything, when it comes to friends, maybe they felt envious of you. Maybe they felt jealous of you. Maybe they didn't have the best intentions. When it came to family members, maybe they loved you. Then maybe they loved you in their own way. For some of you, maybe they didn't show their love. Maybe you never got that I love you. Maybe you never got that I care for you. but we still didn't have a safe space within another person. And again, please don't take my words out of context. Not saying you need somebody else, but we all, based off how we're built, we need human connection. And we may have not had that in a substantial way that really had our true best interests at heart. And it feels like, Leo, you're so team, so tribe, so family. I think because our soul may be weary, our soul may need some rest. I think at this point, Leo, you've reached a certain milestone where you've carried the boulder on your back for far too long. You've carried the weight on your shoulders for far too long. You've carried the heaviness of all of the experiences that you've had to go through, and even the experiences of other people. And I have to kind of break this up into categories, right? Because for some of you, you may have found that solace in a partner, but maybe we didn't have that in a friend. And don't get me wrong, our partner is there for us, but our partner should not have to bear the weight of certain things that we go and tell our girlfriends or our guy friends. Or maybe we had the girlfriends or guy friends, but we didn't have the partner, and our girlfriends and guy friends is not going to take a place of a partner. Or maybe we had the partner or we had the girlfriends, but sometimes we need that nurturing that we should have gotten from our parent that we didn't get. So it's like, what's that external source that we use to recharge what we lacked? The soul is tired. That's what this reminds me of. So I'm not trying to jump off a ledge here when I say this. I do think though, Leo, and that's why I think I heard the cavalry is coming, because what the soul is lacking, and not saying you on a conscious level, but the soul is needing to be recharged. I think that's coming in for you through the premise of like your soul family, somebody that you've shared a past life with, somebody that you have a past life experience with, whether this is a past life friend that is now showing up for you in this lifetime, whether this was a past life lover that's now showing up for you in this lifetime, or maybe even a past life family member that you had an amazing bond with in a past life, that vouched for you, that protected you, that cared for you. They're now showing up to you in a different form, in a different shape in this lifetime. It's like that part of the soul that has been wanting this person. And again, I'm not putting this on romantic, because it can be a friend, it can be a family member from a past life, but there's somebody here that's a soul tribe member that's getting ready to come in for you. Not only for the benefit of you being able to experience the joy of having them in your lifetime, in this lifetime, but because of a past life contract, a vow, a promise, or even a preordained situation where you two were meant to link up again in a new lifetime. We may have not been able to spend all of our life in the past lifetime together, but in this lifetime, I may have not came when you needed me or wanted me, but I'm coming right on time. This is a time that I'm meant to walk into your life. This is a season that I'm meant to show myself. This is a season that I'm meant to come in. But it feels like you had to get to a certain point. I don't know if it's a certain point of feeling weary, a certain point of your soul just being so tired, a point of just, you know what, I've done as much as I could. I've went through the character development. Spirit has developed my soul to the point of where I've reached my capacity. Now, whoever this person is that you share a past life contract, they're here to now move you into the next chapter and the next section of your life. And I think this is really beautiful, Leo. But I go back to you, because no matter what somebody is coming in for your life that you have a past life contract, I go back to that younger version of you. And I think that understanding the root and really reconnecting to that inner child, you will be able to recognize who this person is in your day-to-day reality when they show up for you. Again, whether they come in as a friend, whether they come in as a romantic partner, or whether this was a family member from a past life that shows up in this lifetime in a brand new form for you. When you connect to that inner child and those experiences you went through during those times, and the feeling and how you felt, and just feeling maybe unprotected, maybe not getting the I love yous, maybe having to fend for yourself, maybe having to stand up for yourself, maybe the feeling of feeling misunderstood, or people taking your energy or your personality in a way that wasn't intended, right? Sometimes people can screw their vision of us and try to project how they see us onto us, which is not who we are. You may have went through those things, and that feeling that you felt, again, of the soul being tired, you're going to be able to recognize them as a charge, right? As fuel for you. You're going to be able to see the vitality in that person that the soul is seeking. You're going to be able to connect on dimensions that isn't even, and now I feel like I'm going far left. I'm sorry. You know, I don't like going too far left. That's just me. But it just feels like you're going to be able to connect with a person on dimensions that you haven't really experienced in this lifetime. It's like, for an example, I know you've probably dealt with this, and some of you, maybe you haven't. But when you meet somebody and you can just automatically open up, and normally you may not be that much of an open person. Maybe you don't normally go into your deep depths of what you've been through or the abyss of your life experiences, but you meet somebody and holy hell, all of your past lifetime traumas, issues, highs, ups, lows, and downs just start coming out on the table, and you start pouring your soul at their feet. And it's like, whoa, I'm normally not like this. I normally keep myself protected. I normally have that person. It feels like this is that person you have a past life contract with. And this isn't something you experience often. This is like you've either never experienced something like this that's getting ready to happen for you, or this is like once every decade, every so many years. Because mind you, we do have multiple past life contracts, but it may have been extremely, and I mean an extremely long time since you've experienced this with a person. And it's just like, holy, I'm just an open book. And that's never my intention for people to be all open like this so soon. But I just met you and I'm telling you about my deepest fears. Who are you? That's how you're going. And I tell you, connect that back to your childhood. Because that feeling of lack that you may have felt there, they are the charge and the fuel for you. What that inner version of you that still exists within you needs. And also what the soul needs. To move you forward to the next conquest, to move you forward to the next chapter. And this is somebody that, yes, you're going to be meeting in this lifetime, but now in this lifetime, you get to continue that out. You get to continue and play out your life with this person. It's like, even if this person comes into your life and maybe you got your own life thing going on, maybe you got your work, your career, and your own personal life, and maybe they do too. It's like no matter what, your lives are always going to run parallel to one another. It's like even if I have to focus on my own personal journey for a season, you're still in tow. So this is somebody, once you connect, they're not leaving your life until your time is up here in this lifetime. I don't know who, yeah, y'all know I always feel crazy. I gotta stop saying it, but I really do when I start going on to the side with stuff, man. And I start talking about other dimensions and 5D and 3D and 7D, I do start feeling a little weird. But it's what's here, Leo. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this resonates in some way. Just know it's been a pleasure. It really has. I think you truly, it's like you never knew what you needed until you found it. It's like you may not be able to recognize how tired the soul is until you meet this person and they give you that fuel and they recharge you and they bring in that vitality that you didn't know what was missing. Good luck to you. I love you. Peace. Bye.